In my search for the perfect wildlife camera, I didn't know there could be so many plot twists and deal breakers. The Sony, pretty much perfect. There actually is no complaint other than my back pain and eventual arthritic hip. The Lumix, not bad, pretty stable, much better, little autofocusy. But with the emergence of software like Topaz, you can technically enhance with some deal-breaking flaws your footage. And I wanted to see, is it better to shoot 1080p in 240 frames per second and upscale it to 4K? Or is it better to shoot 4K 120p and upslow it to 240p? I think you already know the answer. What I didn't realize, however, was by doing these tests, I would see the most magnificent thing I've ever witnessed in 4K 120p and 240p.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
As a little side experiment today, we're on the Panasonic GH6 Laowa 7.5mm Tony 2 in Vlog, but not with dynamic range boost that bumps up your ISO to 2000. It's at the lowest minimum, 250. It could be underexposed. Nobody cares. Okay, I did a bunch of weird experiments in Topaz for this one, taking like HD to 8K. How far can we push the 4K 120 with slow-mo? A lot of weird stuff ahead here. So first thing I saw, I took the Sony A7S III out. I figured I wanted the best quality. I wanted to see what's Topaz capable of with an actual full-frame camera that just can't be beat right now. Sony A7S III, 200 to 600, no teleconverter, we're good to go. So the first ridiculous test was, can I take HD 240p up to 8K 480p? The answer was a hard no. That's a hard no on that one. Just the artifacts of the face, the duck fur in the face, just like strange colors. There wasn't enough information in that 240p to do what I asked. But there you have that. I'm telling you, for some moments, this will be possible. Just, there's a lot of feathers, and it's annoying that birds have them, but there's some moments that you'll be able to slow this down like 10 times, and it's like, wow, what a moment. That wasn't it. Now here's an interesting experiment. I took the HD 240p file, I up-resed it to 4K 480 frames per second. That's a very modest upgrade, just a double on both. And you can see in the back of his head just like strange warps as he moves throughout the leaves. That's unheard of. If he wasn't in this bush, if I had just waited for him to emerge, I probably would have handled it okay. It's just when things move behind leaves, it's a problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, you'll get a shot eventually where a bird's in open sky or something, he's flying, it's like, yeah, I'm not really seeing artifacts there. Totally usable. In case you were wondering, Topaz is available through my affiliate links. I signed up for an affiliate account, and now links give me money, and you should click them. As I witnessed a woodpecker climbing to the top of a totem pole where photographers belong at the bottom of, he realized that he could look down at them and frown. I wasn't missing the focus. It's actually, your eyes need adjusting. I know what I'm doing, and that's focusing on a woodpecker. You know what has to be the most annoying thing on earth? Birds, and especially the little ones, as they hop and leap out of your life at every opportunity. And then you get focused and they're gone again, and you're trying to reframe, and the camera's heavy. By the way, Sony, you could have shaved a couple inches off that one. It's so hard to follow these little warbling freaks. Oh, and focusing on them manually. Like, sometimes it works. I got some shots, they're usable. He's gone forever. But here's a good example of the struggle of trying to follow a bird. It's like, how would you focus on that thing, leaving your life so fast, and like which direction? It is so hard to just get the exact speed of where I always overshoot or undershoot and lose focus. People would buy the footage. All right, let's get to the magic that happened. So I see this great heron, and I'm like, oh yes, okay, there we have it. It flew overhead of us as we were looking at other less interesting birds, this giant thing flies overhead and we're like, oh my god, what is that? And it lands pretty close to us, so we rushed over there. We see this thing just pouncing there, and I got bored. I was filming him for a while. This thing's heavy. I'm like, they just really wait, don't they? They got a lot of patience. They just sit there. So I was like, okay, I'll get some of these ducks. Look at that, a wood duck. Oh, look at you. So I'm following this wood duck as he moseys along past a general duck, a less desired duck. And he glances over at me, letting us know that he is the superior breed, and the other one can't get the women that he gets. And that's when I look back at our heron, and I'm like, when did he dive into the lake? And I'm like panicking. I press record. He is flying out of the water. He's got a giant fish. I'm like, what happened, Larry? What did you do? Why didn't you wait? Oh man. So this was HD 240p. And then I got a bunch of experiments with the 4K 120 versus HD 240 and upscaling and slowing. And here's what I learned. The first thing I learned is herons are assholes, and they stab fish in the side, and then they wash them off, and they're like, how do I get this into my mouth? I pierced it. If I get the beak out, he's gonna swim away. So what they do is gently lay them down to rest, make sure they're not moving, and then go in for a haki-taki kaizen attack that pierces their lungs and liver. And he did that multiple times, and I got it in many different frame rates. So on your right, we have HD 240p upscaled to 4K, and on your left is 4K 120p slowed down to 240p. So they're both identical settings, and if we punch in, the 4K still looks better. It's just, was it necessary to slow it further? They're close, but 4K is like still much superior. So what Topaz does is they don't bring your HD footage to 4K, they just make your HD footage look better. Not quite 4K, maybe 2.7K, something like that. And when you do slow it down, you gotta hope that there ain't a lot of movement. Now in this shot, he dared the fish to swim away. He's like, go ahead, buddy, I'll let you go. And he snatched him up by the head. Look at the size of that fish. And now he's gonna attempt to swallow this thing. How could anybody get that thing down their throat? It took him like half an hour. This is all 4K 120p, and you have no idea how tired I was getting. I was holding this thing, even though I'm like balanced on a railing, my shoulders were burning. And I kept trying, like hoping for the moment, and I'm like, hurry up. Slow, you can just see the fish blood. Oh, I thought they didn't have blood or feel pain. Oh boy, I'm the worst vegan ever. I eat fish every day. Oh man. So he's swallowing it. Look how big his throat is. And down it goes. Eventually it did work. And like, did it ever actually go down his throat? I'll never know. I don't know. I feel like he just held it there. I can clearly see you're hiding a fish. You're not fooling anybody. And it's not going anywhere. You know you're gonna regurgitate that to your babies any second now. Nobody believes you. I guess it is going down, slightly, barely. And then he spread his wings in majestic fashion. And I didn't dare slow it down further, because that would have introduced artifacting. And there's a time and a place for that Topaz, and it is fun, and I find it works better for the goofy moments where I want to leap for mankind. This was 720p, 1920 frames per second. I upscaled it to 8K, still the same 1920, and it looks good. Like, there's no weird stuff. If it's for the face, it's just the wildlife is what I wanted it most for, and that gets a little weird at times, but this is pretty good. Not bad. Don't ever eat pizza. I will kill you if you do. Not on my watch. There are affiliate links down below, by the way, for pizza. 2-for-1 coupon. But like you can see side by side with the original clip, it's much better. It's totally worth doing. It didn't take too long. I think like 25 minutes or something to render that. It's doable for the odd thing. not bad. In this example, I did 1080p 960 frames per second upscaled to 8K, and I was surprised at how good it looked. It looked like it gave him 3D pop or something. I was like, not bad. That's my buddy Geet. He leaps for mankind, and he never comes down. Sometimes he comes down. Eventually he will return to us on our flat earth, but for now he's waiting up there. Go subscribe to his Instagram, Geek Collective. It's available down below. So final thoughts, Topaz has its place, just be careful with it. Sony felt great to take out again. Fantastic system. I am going to hopefully test the Z9 soon in a store. Somehow, I will make a good video in a store somehow. I'll test it for vlogging with the 20mm 1.8, maybe the 24mm, and also if they have any of those primes, and I will bring my Sony to the store. We'll do a little, it'll be the worst comparison ever, but I will bring a pigeon in from outside and let it loose in the store, and we will track it, and we'll learn something. So, look forward to that, and not bad, not bad. Sony's the king. Topaz has its place. I'm going to leave after you buy everything I said through my affiliate links after a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt makes its way into your closet. How was the GH6 today? Better. Good. Shotgun mic on camera. As per the other video saying I could get away with that, I probably couldn't. I'm sorry. I'll go.